Hope you're having a good Sunday morning. Thank you for joining me in this another edition of the week in review with the Country Conservative. I'm Charlie, and I am the Country Conservative. Had a little bit of technical difficulty yesterday starting up and lost all my material. If you watched any of the live stream again, you would notice I was like totally flummoxed because of the issues that was coming up, and I hated that part that I didn't. I needed to do my videos with. So hopefully we'll make up for it today. I started these videos, this live feed, for a couple reasons. To get the truth out to people, because every time we turn around, liberals are sitting there denying facts. And they're either calling you a racist or fascist or conspiracy theorist and everything. But when you try to teach them the truth, because all they do is watch ABC, CBS, NBC, CNBC, MSNBC, and the worst two, CNN and The View. You can't get worse than that. And these people believe them. I know people that watch them and they believe them. And I try to tell them the truth of what's going on. And oh, no, they can't have any of that. Can't have the truth, can you? I had a girl, let's see here. I'll bring it up here real quick for you. On Newsbreak, if you guys get news, which I get a lot of news stuff from people, and I'll get their responses to some of the stuff. And this one was about the border, and I'm going to bring this up here real quick, and because we are going to go over the border also. And it says, "I believe Trump and his gang are the reason the flow is so high up. They are the ones who say it's open border, but it's not." This is the kind of stuff that I deal with by doing my videos and stuff. And the other reason why is because this is election year. With everything that's going on in this country, I cannot just sit by and do it. I'm trying to get my part out to help people understand how bad this country is. And so this is the reason why mostly I started my videos, because of the corruption in DC, Joe Biden and the Democrats, and the southern border, and the wars all over the place. But now it's because we need to get the truth out to people. This is election year. I've done one primary already, and I will continue to do every primary live. We'll discuss the results. We'll discuss everything that's going on around the world, and all the way up to general election. Trying to make sure people understand how bad this country is. And I don't want to get into too much of what I'm going to go over today, because the first thing we're going to go over is the border. And that's a big topic, period. So this is the reason why I do my videos, and I'm doing these live feeds now. I'm not very good at the live feeds. Hopefully I'll get better at them as we go along. And everybody will come in, join me in chat, and we'll talk about what's been going on, what is going on, especially with this border crisis and the Joe Biden stuff and the persecutions of Donald Trump, trying to keep him away from being off the ballot, trying to keep him out of the presidency, all the stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing these live feeds, and we'll have some guest hosts with me on the primaries. Brendan Wayne of the Brendan Statler Show here on Rumble. And we'll be discussing different topics along with watching the results come in as they play out. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. We're going to cover them all and cover all the bases, because this election is so important this year. And I say at the end of all my videos, and if you haven't watched my videos on Rumble yet, please go into Chasu, CHASU, and check out my videos. I have like over 300 on them. I know you don't want to watch them, but please go in, follow me, and watch some of the videos. Share my videos with your friends and family. We've got to get the truth out to people. If your family, neighbors, or whatever need rides to the polling stations, please pick them up, take them to the polling station, let them vote, or help them get their ballots. We've got to get away from mail-in ballots because that's the easiest way for Democrats to cheat. And with everything that's going on in today's world, we have to get the Democrats out of power. They can't control the Senate or the House. They can't control either one. They got to be out of power. We've got to take this country back. We've got to fix what Joe Biden is breaking. And unfortunately, he's still got a ways to go, and he can do a lot more damage. So this is the reason why I'm doing my videos. And I hope you have your coffee. Sit back, enjoy. Please join me in chat if you come. Let me know where you're from. Leave comments and questions, and I'll keep looking at them. I have to look over here to see them. So please leave me some comments and we'll see where we go. All right, on with the show. Now we're talking about the border invasion, and you all have heard about it. And you all have heard about what Biden's trying to do and the Democrats are trying to do to Greg Abbott and his Texas National Guard and the people that are going down there to help with this. The Supreme Court I don't know why they would tell Biden administration he can go ahead and cut down the razor wire. There's nowhere in the Immigration Act or the immigration process, I might well say, that allows immigrants to swim across the river and come up to America however you can get here and just go through. We have border security for a reason. We got ports of entry for a reason. We've got an immigration process for a reason. And nothing that the Biden administration is doing is legal about this. They're not following. They did away with Trump's Title 42, stay in Mexico policies on day one. And this is what they've done. This is what they've caused. We've got kids being murdered by these illegal immigrants. We got drug dealers, cartel members, terrorist cells popping up around the country because of this. Fentanyl. They say that it's like 300 people a day dying from fentanyl. You think you'd want to stop this? We got people living on the streets. We got Americans still living on the streets. But then now you got illegal immigrants, criminals in here sleeping on the streets. So how does that make things any better when you're letting more people in that we can't afford to do for and that shouldn't be here? Military age men from different countries all around the world: Syria, Egypt, Iran, China, Russia. All are enemies and are terrorist organizations. I mean, these are people, most of people are on a terrorist watch list or a criminal database in some way. And they just let them through. So how can you justify what Joe Biden is doing? When you fight an American state like Texas to allow these criminals to keep coming in, they don't fight like this for American people. So don't you think you people would wake up and see that Joe Biden's administration and the Democrats do not care about you? They are looking for votes. They are looking to destroy this country, and that's what's happening. If Biden tries to do anything down in Texas, you're not going to see what's going to happen because it's not going to be pretty. But if anybody that Biden sends down there has any ounce of brains, they would go down, they would turn around, and they would guard our whole border. Because day one, Joe Biden got in there and he sold all of the materials that was bought and paid for, approved by Congress to put the wall up. Joe Biden sold them for pennies on the dollar. It was already approved, paid for everything. Illegally, he sold them for pennies on the dollar. And this is what we get. Now, I'm going to show you this video here. And this is one that I just found. And it's 10 minutes long, but I'm only going to show you a portion of it because of how important this is. I found this at 2:30 this morning. So watch this.
Americans.
I'm sorry.
Your country gets more. Yeah, you dirty Americans. Get out of the way. This is the illegal immigrants' country. What do you guys think you're doing? This country's for illegal immigrants. You guys are dirty Americans. Get out of the way. How rude of you. How rude of you to think you have a country anymore. Hey, let's get another truck up here so no media can see this. In fact, let's just ban the media. Hey, guys, we're going to need you to shut your cameras off. We cannot document Biden's border invasion, okay? Everybody shut your cameras down. No free speech. The Border Patrol's here to tell me to shut up, too. Sir, he says. An American citizen. An American citizen. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy's ridiculous.
The other media to be able to cover this.
No media. No media, though. Hey, no media. Nobody see the illegal immigrants. It's not happening. It's not happening. Sir, am I okay to be upset? Do I have the right to redress grievances here?
But you're not being. You're being discourteous to your friends.
I'm being discourteous. A wide open border, but I'm being discourteous. I love it.
Allow them to
I love it.
report.
They can record. Nobody's
Allow them to
stopping them.
report what's-
Nobody's stopping them except you guys. Look, she's trying to stop the media. You guys don't want us to see this. You drove a bus through a
we have to
ravine.
keep-
You drove a bus through a ravine so we couldn't see this. Do you think the American people are stupid? Do you guys
Please
think the
back
American
up,
people are stupid?
please.
Do you guys like this?
Just give.
You guys like, get out of the way, dirty Americans. Shut off your cameras. Nobody's allowed to see. There is no Biden border invasion. Shut your cameras off. Everybody go home.
You tell me that guy doesn't have a point. And what they're doing, they're pulling them illegal criminals out of the river, putting them on a bus, giving them a plane ticket. They don't even have to have an ID to get on a plane. Give them cell phones, give them a whole gift package, give them a place to stay. It's beyond me. And that guy has every right. There's a group of people going down there to help Texas. And I haven't caught any video of that other than this right now. So I'm going to try and find some more. But Texas forces are digging in, and Abbott warns Biden that federalizing the Guard would be a total disaster. This was yesterday. The border situation has taken a center stage between Biden administration and the state of Texas. The battle lines have been established. Over the past months, Texas and the Biden administration have been locked in standoff over Shelby Park and Eagle Pass, Texas. And this is not the only place that's been going on, but this is the main one where the Texas National Guard and everybody's been putting up razor wire and stuff because these people are just walking right into America, not even going through the ports of entry. If these people were doing this legally, it would not be an issue, but they are not. So Governor Abbott is doing his best, and they have told Joe Biden's administration, don't even try it. And he even said if he tries to federalize the National Guard, the National Guard will not listen to him. And I cannot blame him a bit. That is an order that is unconstitutional for what Joe Biden is doing. And you can't blame him for not wanting to listen to him. Because are you going to want people like this coming into your, let's see, let's get it up there. There we go. Are you going to want people like this, more of them? Because we've already got some in here that I put out. I think I put it out yesterday, that a mother of a 20-year-old autistic daughter was raped and killed by an MS-13 gang member that was illegally here. So is this what you want seeing in your community? Not me. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm going to protect myself the way the Second Amendment allows me to protect myself, no matter what happens. Because then you have idiots like this, an illegal immigrant brazenly threatens border journalists. Soon you're going to know who I am, is what he says. This is the guy that threatened a reporter. Don't know where he's from, don't know his name, but I'm going to let you listen to what he has to say to them. Listen to this.
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys.
You
Wow.
will see soon.
Now you shouldn't there and tell me if you're a little concerned about this, because he's definitely from Middle East somewhere. So wouldn't you be concerned about this? Because since we've already had known terrorists cross our borders and are somewhere in the country, wouldn't that make you think a little bit and be a little concerned of what this guy's talking about? Right there and then, whoever is taping this should have went right to the Border Patrol and told them he was threatened by him and make him question him thoroughly to find out where this man's from and what he's doing here. And you can see in the video that a lot of these people are not, they got their own cell phones already. They're dressed pretty nice for making this big trek from Syria or Egypt or Israel, wherever they're coming from. They don't look too bad for making that big hike. Don't you think? So now I've got another video here, Fox News video on the same stuff on the border that has to be out to people. You cannot just sit back and think there's nothing going on because you don't watch the news or you watch the lame news media like ABC, NBC, CNN, all them people, and they don't tell you stuff that's actually going on in this country. They'll only want to sit there and lie to you and say, oh, well, the economy's all good and everything. And it's not. And I put a chart up yesterday, I think it was, that showed all the prices since Joe Biden was in office. And like heating oil, gases, all them 24, 25% rise since Joe Biden took over. Gasoline has went down, but these liberals are looking at that and saying gas prices went down because of a $5 to $6 a gallon that he had it put at when Trump had it down at $1.89 a gallon. Excuse me. And he raised it up to $5 or $6. I know it was $6 for my diesel, and I had to get rid of my diesel because it cost me $250 to fill my tank up to go 300-400 miles in my truck. So I went to a gas truck, which doesn't have the power or the gas mileage that my diesel had, because I couldn't afford to fill that up. I'm on disability. I can't do that stuff. So now I'm paying $100 and some to fill it up under Joe Biden, which if Trump was still in office, I'd be paying like $70 or $80. So this is why I keep telling you, we got to get stuff fixed. We got to fix stuff. But here's another video from the first Fox News one, and it's about 4 minutes long, but it's well worth seeing. Watch this.
A border showdown is brewing in Eagle Pass, Texas right now. A huge hub for illegal border crossings. There is a standoff that is underway between the federal government, which wants the razor wire that Texas put in place there to protect its own state. They say it has to go. And Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he will not. The Biden administration has now given him a deadline of tomorrow to allow Border Patrol access to the area. It's called Shelby Park, essentially setting up a confrontation potentially between federal agents and the Texas National Guard.
The former president, Donald Trump, has suggested to all the Republican governors out there, send members of your state's National Guard. In your case, Governor, it would be the Oklahoma National Guard. Send them down to Texas to help Greg Abbott. Are you going to do that?
Absolutely. You know, I've done it once before, and we're looking. I already talked to my TAG, my General Mancino. We've already started putting the numbers together. We'll be in contact with Governor Abbott.
As it stands right now, you might be able to make out behind me, Texas's razor wire is still here inside of Shelby Park. It remains untouched. However, the Biden administration has now warned Texas it has until tomorrow to allow Biden's border agents back into Shelby Park and the ability to remove Texas's razor wire as it sees fit. A federal attorney writes to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Biden administration, ending a temporary restraining order that prohibited Biden's border agents from touching Texas razor wire in and around Shelby Park. The Biden administration goes into detail about the access it wants. It wants access to Shelby Park, also the nearby boat launch and the international bridge.
The biggest mistake the Biden administration could make would be confronting law enforcement or our military, our National Guard, at our border, at this park, when we're actually doing the job that the American people want. So if they come down and create a situation, all of America already knows now, they will clearly see that the Democrats are willing to take on a state that is operating under our constitutional right to protect our people and protect this country. I don't think even Biden will make that mistake. We're not looking for a confrontation. We're looking for them to do their damn job and protect the lives of Texans and Americans and protect the borders in this country. And for every person that's died of a fentanyl overdose, for every person that's been murdered by MS-13, for every law enforcement officer who's been killed in line of duty because these people across the border, that death is on the hands of Joe Biden and this administration and his policies on the border. They should not come and confront us. They should just let us do our job.
The war, we have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build.
Now, these are the people that the Democrat Party and the Joe Biden administration are fighting for. Not you or I, not American citizens, illegal criminals that are climbing over razor wire, swimming across rivers, military-age men. You see all those guys running? They weren't sick, abused looking people. Looked like very healthy males running around there with a nice old backpacks on there with stuff in them, cell phones in their hands. Now, one little group of people, that was the Americans going to Texas to help them. Just a real quick snippet of it. So this is why I'm doing these videos, to show people what we're dealing with. And the Democrat Party is doing to this country. It would take a matter of minutes for Joe Biden to sign a executive order closing this border. But he wants to sit there and make you believe that he can't do anything. And he said, an article I read yesterday, he said, if they let me, I'll do it. Now, who's they? Who is they going to let him? Who stops a president from doing anything? Nobody, except the puppet master. Let's control him. And they keep saying that the razor wire is preventing the Border Patrol from doing their jobs. No, it's helping them. Because if that razor wire wasn't on up, these people would be scrambling all over the country as unknown gotaways. Because the Border Patrol can't be everywhere. Putting more people on doesn't help. Because you put more people on, it just makes them put people through faster and let them out. So that means you got more people out there unvetted, don't know their medical problems, nothing like that. So you're going to put more people on to make sandwiches, which they've done that already too. They've taken the Border Patrol agents off their post to go make sandwiches to feed these people. Well, they think they were doing pretty good before they got here, so make them go back across to Mexico. You stay there, you do the paperwork legally, then you come in. And then nobody's going to have an issue with it. But not when we're already be going top 13 million people into this country. That's bigger than some states we have. And Les, you're right, Les. This is being invaded from every single media company is selling you a lie. And that's right. They are selling you people a lie because they're sitting there saying they need to do their jobs. It's just going to help them with what Texas is doing. You don't fight with your own state and your own American people and choose illegal criminals over us. It doesn't happen. This is why the American people are pissed off because of watching this. And I'm hoping they're mad enough when the election time comes around for their states to see this and to realize Joe Biden and the Democrats don't care about you at all. So here's another video. It's a shorter one than the other one from Fox News. It's in a different state. It's not a local one, but it's another one on this border. It's at a different part of the border. So watch this.
Well, more than 20 Republican governors now supporting Texas as Governor Abbott declares the border crisis an invasion and invokes the state's constitutional right to self-defense. In Washington, GOP leadership's threats to tank a bipartisan Senate bill on immigration plays into the White House's claim that the GOP is not serious about solving the issue. Fox News senior correspondent Casey Stegall has the latest from Dallas.
The Lone Star State defying a Friday deadline set by the federal government to remove razor wire at key border crossings.
The idea of the federal government removing barriers at this time is really otherworldly.
A senior U.S. Customs and Border Protection official says that won't happen. Writing in a statement to Fox, bottom line, Border Patrol has no plans to remove infrastructure, sea wire placed by Texas along the border. Our posture remains the same. If we need to access an area for emergency response, we will do so. While that plays out in the courts in Washington, there's no deal in sight on border security.
House Republicans, they have a choice to make, right? They have to choose whether they want to solve a problem, actually solve a problem like the Senate is trying to do in a bipartisan way, or get in the way and score political points.
House Speaker Mike Johnson updating his colleagues on the Senate's draft bipartisan border policy, writing in a letter, quoting here, if rumors about the contents of the draft proposal are true, it would have been dead on arrival in the House anyway.
Now you see what I'm talking about. They're trying to put through because they want all this money for Ukraine. The last proposal that I saw, and it wasn't this one before, that they wanted $64 billion for Ukraine. And I think it was 13 or 14 billion for our border. Now, I see a problem with that. I see a problem with giving another country that is not us, but we don't need them. Joe Biden needs them, his money laundering country over there. You give us that much money to close our borders and to secure our borders, and we won't have this problem. Let me know what you guys think. Now we're going to get into, what are we going to get into? Oh, January 6th debacle and the corruption therein. And, this is stuff that I've been banned for doing before, but I don't really care because the corruption and the illegal facts of what January 6th committee, the old committee, has done by deleting files, encrypting files, so the now Republicans can't get into them. They have deleted witness testimonies. They have falsified evidence by putting sound to the videos from the Capitol cameras. The Capitol cameras do not capture sound, so they added sound to them, and that is falsifying evidence. So then you've got the guy who was the head of it, and I can't remember his name right now, but he lied and said, well, I didn't know I was supposed to keep video. It's evidence. It was supposed to be logged in to the National Archives to preserve them. And this is what they're telling people. And we're not going to look into that. Yeah. Yes, we are. But yeah, so they have to get the encrypted, and you got to, I don't even remember, decrypt them. Oh, geez, and Pete. But they got to decrypt everything to be able to, they ask for passwords, which they're not giving the passwords. So they're having to go through the House Judiciary Committees. They're having to go through all this stuff to try to get the proof out there that they won't give up, or they've lost, or they won't even give to them. So everybody right now, all the defendants of January 6th that are in DC Gitmo, or the ones that have already been persecuted for this, need to be either overturned or released from prison, because this is bogus. This is just another example of election interference. Nobody has ever been charged with an insurrection, because it was not an insurrection. You had FBI agents and cops in the crowd coercing people to go into the Capitol. And then you got that Ray Epps that gets probation, caught on camera, telling people to go in right on camera, and gets probation. So what do you think his chances that he is an FBI informant or a CIA informant or whatever? I even have the video. I'm not going to play it for you today, but I played it so many times to wake people up. We got people still sitting in DC Gitmo and that have been refused their rights among the Constitution. And this Democratic committee and Joe Biden has destroyed our Constitution. They're the most lawless party that I've ever seen. They've defied the Supreme Court on multiple stuff. They've said it on camera that they're going to defy the Supreme Court on stuff. And then they want to make a big deal because Texas is doing what's constitutionally right of them. Give me a break. Now, when it comes down to January 6th, and if you ever heard about the pipe bomb outside of the DNC office, well, that is where Kamala Harris was. And you don't hear it in the news. So if you have a person that was just elected as vice president-elect in the DC or DNC office with a pipe bomb sitting outside, which could have killed her, wouldn't that be some big news? But yet it's not. So you have to fight and scrape just to find somebody that'll tell you anything about it. So why is that? And if you get a picture of the bomb, which I should have gotten and I did not, it's a pipe bomb, and it's got a kitchen timer on it, which a kitchen timer is only good for an hour. So how is somebody going to set that off on January 6th or January 7th without going back and setting it? Because you can't do it the night before, because it would have went off in the middle of the night. But nobody talks about that. She does not talk about that almost being assassinated from a pipe bomb outside. She doesn't talk about that. You think she would to get some popularity points because she's so damn dumb. She got no popularity at all. She is the lowest percentage rate of overall of any vice president we've ever had. But I'm going to let you listen to Michael Shellenberger, and he talks about this pipe bomb. So it's about 2 minutes, 12 seconds, but definitely well worth listening to. Listen to this.
I have some very shocking news to tell you. The FBI says that a pipe bomb almost killed Vice President Kamala Harris on January 6, 2021, while she was at the Democratic National Committee headquarters building in Washington.
The FBI says that the suspect, who is still outstanding, planted a pipe bomb just about right here outside the DNC.
The FBI is urgently requesting that all of us think about who we might know who might have been acting suspiciously around then.
Since January 5th, you may have noticed changes in someone you know.
And report them.
Any emotion you feel is inappropriate is worth reporting.
And FBI is offering a $500,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the perpetrator. And yet the person who was in charge of the FBI investigation now says Vice President Harris was never at risk and that the bomb couldn't have detonated while she was at the DNC. Harris herself never spoke of the incident, even though it was highly shocking and would have been a very powerful political weapon for her to wield against former President Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans. And Congress's special January 6th report never even mentions the alleged bomb, outside of a footnote. The January 6th Capitol riot was an embarrassment to us as a country. At the same time, it could have been easily avoided had Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell approved the National Guard troops that the Capitol Police Chief had requested.
On January 3rd, I requested the assistance of the National Guard to support my perimeter and was denied by the 2 sergeant-at-arms over the concern for politics and optics.
And the fact that they didn't is not just a mystery, but further evidence there was a secret effort to, at a minimum, allow the riot to occur. Now, a newly released video shows Capitol Police and Secret Service officers behaving oddly relaxed after learning that there is a dangerous pipe bomb just a few feet away from them. They even allow a group of children to walk right by it. A former FBI agent says the so-called bombs look like government training devices, dummies, not real bombs. In fact, it's all much worse than that. The FBI released video of the suspect who planted the bomb. The person is on his cell phone. That means the data should have been available to the FBI. But it wasn't. Why? Well, according to the FBI official who was in charge of the investigation, the cell phone data was corrupted.
So you see that camera, but they didn't have any good pictures of the guy placing the bomb there. But yet somebody was in there and panned over to where the bomb was. And you saw the guy, whoever it was, talking to the police and Kamala Harris's detail on there. But yeah, they're just calm and casual and saying she was not in danger. Well, they didn't know that at the time. That whole place should have been cordoned off. Nobody should have been near. She should have been taken somewhere else. But yeah, no. But before, she was not at the DNC when this originally happened. She was in the Capitol, according to them and her, but she was not. So what is she doing at the DNC with a bomb outside and nobody's doing a thing about it, just leaving her in there with no problem? You see, there's a problem with that. So listen to this. I just brought this up because it's funny. And this is from Gutfield from Fox. And I found good stuff from Fox, and I find a lot of other stuff. But this all deals with what this is. I know I just wanted you to watch this. This is hilarious. To me, anyways.
They use their might to spy on the right. A new report from the House Judiciary Committee reveals that under the guise of investigating Jan 6th, the feds asked banks to do a search of transactions for indicators of homegrown violent extremists. Problem is, according to Congressman Jim Jordan, the Treasury Department asked the banks to conduct the search using terms like Trump and MAGA. In an effort to track gun purchases, they also asked the banks to query terms like like Bass Pro Shops and Dick's Sporting Goods. So in other words, if you so much as bought a jockstrap at Dick's, then you could have ended up on a federal target list of domestic violent extremists. Luckily, I knit my own. Takes 2 balls of yarn.
Now, see, I found that funny, and I don't really watch him that often, but I just so happened to catch that, and I found it a little funny. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, now we're going to get into another one about Nancy Pelosi and AOC caught in a shock scheme. These 2 Democrats, I don't believe it, but they say they're in deep trouble. This is an election, campaign, finance problem in a way. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you about it. Everything that I was going to say to you has already been said. So I've got another video for you, about 2 minutes, 19 seconds. It will tell you exactly what they've done. Listen to this. Oh, yep. Here we go. I got this one.
Let's delve further into the details of the ethics complaint filed against top House Democrats, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust, FACT, has taken a bold step by filing an ethics complaint, accusing prominent House Democrats of misusing official resources for political purposes. The complaint specifically targets Pelosi and AOC, among others, raising serious concerns about the potential violation of federal laws and House ethics rules governing the use of social media by members of Congress. The heart of the matter lies in the allegation that these Democratic lawmakers have been linking official government resources to their campaign accounts. While social media has become a powerful tool for politicians to engage with the public, it appears that some may have crossed a legal line by intertwining official government activities with their campaign strategies. Fact contends that the accused Democrats have been actively publishing social media posts to their campaign accounts, using content that originates from official government resources or reposting material created in an official government capacity. While the act of reposting content is a common practice in the online sphere, federal law explicitly prohibits the use of taxpayer-funded resources for campaign-related activities. This ethical dilemma becomes more pronounced when considering the potential consequences of such actions. The accused Democrats are alleged to have engaged in practices that could artificially elevate their campaign accounts, creating an impression that these are official government pages. This is a significant concern, as it blurs the line between public and political endeavors, raising questions about the misuse of resources funded by taxpayers for personal political gains. Federal laws are stringent in their provisions to prevent officials from diverting taxpayer-funded resources towards their campaign efforts. By utilizing government-provided content for their campaign social media accounts, these lawmakers may be seen as indirectly channeling tax dollars into their campaign funds. The Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust emphasizes that these alleged violations are not isolated incidents but rather a pervasive and evident pattern among the accused Democrats. While the immediate consequences of these allegations remain unclear, they could potentially have far-reaching implications for the lawmakers involved. As we closely monitor this unfolding ethics complaint, we will continue to provide you with comprehensive updates on the latest developments.
Now, every time you turn around, these two are doing something. And you got this ditz AOC that couldn't balance a checkbook before she got in here, a bartender, has been caught doing other stuff for campaign finance violations. Then you got Pelosi, which has been doing insider trading for years, and her and her husband are benefiting from it, and nothing happens to them. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about the lawlessness of the Democrat Party. They do stuff, nothing gets done. The Republican Party doesn't do anything. They hold hearings, just talk. That's all they do. And that's one thing that I'm sick of doing, is listening to them just talk. We need to see some action. And then putting off Mayorkas' border, or they're even just going to hold a hearing on the 30th about the border. Not even nothing about Mayorkas' impeachment. And it's been 3 years now. This has been going on. And what do? They hold another hearing. Nobody's been impeached. Nobody's held accountable. Nothing. Now we got the Democrats threatening Texas. And it's just threatening a civil war is what they're doing. And this has got to end. Now I got a couple funny videos, and I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but I want to show you these. You might have seen them before, and because they were pretty much all over the place, but I wanted to show you these toward the end to make it a little happier, since the video is about bad stuff going on in this country. So watch this first one.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
Well, this isn't going to be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Trisha, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
Oh, my God. The numbers are going up so fast. Why do we have to be at Balderson's house?
Don't look up there. It only makes it worse. Keep your eyes on me, okay?
Can't you just scan something less expensive?
I can, but let's not forget, it's the little things that add up, all right? Now brace yourself. I'm about to do the mixed nuts.
Oh, my God. I'm going to pass out.
Okay, bite down on this, Patricia. Get ready. I'm going to do the cured meats.
Oh, no, stop. I can't do this anymore.
It's too late. There's a line behind you, okay? You're locked in.
I'm not strong enough.
I know it looks like a lot right now, but I promise you, you're gonna get home and you're gonna wonder, what did I even buy? You've got this, Patricia. Get ready. I'm gonna weigh the grapes.
Oh, what have you done to me, you son of a...
Okay, your total's $257.84.
Oh, no!
You gotta dig deep. This is the hardest part. Patricia, it's time to pay.
Now, see, I found that hilarious. I can't help myself. That was just too good. And this one is another one. This is Joe Biden. And another one I found hilarious that I put on Twitter, or I've shared somebody's on Twitter. And this is another one that's hilarious. Watch this.
And by the way, you know, I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Now, I hope you like, and it's like disgusting and funny at the same time. But I hope you enjoyed this last part. I hope you enjoyed the whole video. But this is why I do these live feeds, to try to express more of what's going on in here, because my videos were like between 5 and 7 minutes long. I get a couple a little longer, but I don't feel that I can express everything that I want to get out to you guys, especially when the truth is so relevant right now, especially with the election upon us. And this Saturday is going to be another primary, or South Dakota or South Carolina, I believe. Excuse me, the Democrats' primary in South Carolina, which I will be there 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit before, so we can go over and watch the results come in. And there's a couple Democrats on the ballot and running against Biden, because I still don't believe that Biden will be the nominee. Democrats are sick of him. I have other videos that I've done in the past, and I still have them, but I didn't put them on for today's episode. Of Democrats are even sick of him. They're running out of excuses. You got the idiot KJP up there, the worst liar press secretary I've ever seen. At least when Jen Psaki was press secretary, she was a good liar, and she didn't have to read every lie that she had to tell. She just told them because she was that good. And of course, she got on the Lave News media site, which she can lie there too, like they all do, because everything they do is lies, and I can prove them. And I'm not a journalist. I didn't go to journalism, and you probably could tell. But I can even prove they're lying, which a lot of stuff that they're talking about. And this is why I do this, and why I try to get the truth out to people. I'm just doing my little part to try to wake people up to see that this corruption in D.C. and Joe Biden is being compromised from taking money from China, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Romania, all of them. And the proof's going to come out eventually, because what are we doing? We're still holding hearings. When they've got proof enough, the southern border alone is enough to impeach Joe Biden. Forget the checks and the money and him letting China fly balloons over top of our country and letting them buy up land and bringing 28,000 little Chinamen over here, and everything that Joe Biden has let them do. So that's why I'm doing my little part, because I watch Dan Bongino, Wendy Bell Radio. I watch all them and see what they're trying to do. They're showing the truth to people, to get people to wake up, to see how bad this country is. So I know I'm not famous or anything like that. I'm a one-man band. I don't have the money that they have. I have my studio in my basement. I pay for everything. I don't have sponsors. So I do this on my own, just to help out, to try to wake people up, to show them that we need this country back. We are losing our fundamental rights of the Constitution. the freedom of speech, your due process. They're trying to mess with the Second Amendment. Instead of closing this border off where the guns are coming through with the fentanyl and everything else, and the illegal guns, they try to make a law for law-abiding citizens to follow, but criminals don't follow laws. I worked for the Department of Corrections. I know. Inmates in there tell me that when they get out, they're going to do the same crime, whatever they were put in for, they're going to do it again when they get out because they don't want to get a job. They said it's easier to make money by doing what they did before they got in there. So this is why I do my stuff, and this is why I'm trying to get the word out as much as I can. That's why I ask everyone to please share my videos with your friends and family. Follow me on Rumble at Chasu, CHASU, to help me get my name out there so I can get more people to watch me on the live views and to read and to watch my videos that I put out. So please, if you would, please share my videos. Help me get my name out there to get more followers and everything. And you know, I'm going to keep giving you news as soon as I get them, because especially this border crisis, the invasion at the southern border, and Texas is doing their damnedest to protect us and their people. You know, I'll get them out to you. So I'll probably be doing another live weekend review sometime during this week prior to Saturday and the primary, because the primary's probably around 8 o'clock at night, like I said.